Hello and welcome to this week's video. This week we look at words and phrases related to the types of things we find wildlife experts talk about on TV. Spring is often the busiest and most exciting times for wildlife in the UK, as there are many newborn creatures as the weather becomes warmer and food becomes available. So in this week's lesson, we will look at the following words and phrases: action-packed, chiff-chaffs, checked out, raptor, and rendezvous. So as ever, we help you with your pronunciation, help you to understand definitions, use examples of English you are likely to hear in everyday life. Don't forget to stay until the end to test your knowledge by taking our quiz. Anyway, let's get started. The first phrase in this week's lesson is action-packed. So let's have a look at how to pronounce this. Action-packed. And again, action-packed. Excellent. So let's have a look at the definition of action-packed. So this is an event which has lots of activities and excitement. So let's build on that by looking at how we would use this in an example. The hour-long wildlife TV show was action-packed. It looked at how lions, zebras, and elephants all lived. Our next word this week is chiff-chaffs. And chiff-chaffs are pronounced like this: chiff-chaffs. And one more time, chiff-chaffs. Excellent. Now let's learn a bit more about chiff-chaffs by looking at their definition. So this is a small bird which lives in woodland in northern Europe. It flies to southern Europe and northern Africa in the winter for warmer weather. So interesting. And we can learn a little more by looking at an example. So chiff-chaffs are doing well at the moment as their numbers are increasing. Up next is checked out. Now this can have multiple meanings, so let's have a look at this word in more detail. So let's have a look at the pronunciation first of all. Checked out. And again, checked out. Excellent. So this version of checked out is when someone or something leaves a place. And let's understand this a bit further by looking at an example. So after the young birds were fully grown, they checked out of the nest. So this version of checked out means when someone leaves a place rather than someone looking at something. Our fourth word this week is raptor. Now let's have a look at how we would pronounce this a little more slowly. Raptor. And again, raptor. Excellent. Now let's find out the definition of raptor to learn a little more. So, raptor is another word for a bird of prey. Birds of prey are those who eat other animals rather than plants or insects. Interesting. Now let's learn a little more by looking at the example. John was delighted when he saw a large raptor land inside his garden. Our final English word this week is one that has been taken from French. So let's have a look. This one is rendezvous. And let's have a look in more detail on how we would pronounce this. Rendezvous. And again, rendezvous. Great. So the definition of rendezvous is when we meet others at an arranged time and place. Now, as we said before, this word is taken from French, so it may sound rather more like French than English. And let's move on to the example. The people decided to rendezvous at 9:30 p.m. by the river in order to see the foxes play. They wanted to learn how foxes lived. Now it's time to test your knowledge with our weekly quiz to see how much of today's lesson you can remember. So the question is, what type of living thing is a chiff-chaff? Would it be A, an animal, B, a fish, or C, a bird? And the correct answer is C, bird. Let us know in the comments if you got the answer correct. And congratulations if you did. Thank you for joining us again today. If you have any questions about this video or would like us to explain a term for you from any context, then please post your question in the comments box below. We are always happy to help. Don't forget to like our video to help us find more viewers and to expand our channel in order to provide you with an even better experience. Why not hit the subscribe button and bell notification icon so you never miss one of our future videos. Next week, we will be looking at words and phrases related to the seaside town of St. Ives. Thanks for joining us again this week, and we'll see you again next week. Goodbye!